At one point, I don't know if you remember, about a year ago, we were thinking each player is tied down to his prison base card. If they blow up, they go crazy. Do you remember that?
I remember that. It's
At
funny to
one
think about
point,
now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite basketball card podcast on the entire internet, Hobby Update, starring Max, Putnam Cards, and my friend Shai at shaiwayvlogs. Shai, how are we doing today?
¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. I'm doing absolutely amazing. But I never asked you, how the hell are you doing today? Because I'm having a great day.
I appreciate the reciprocation. I'm doing well. I mean, that's kind of where it starts and ends. I'm doing well.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the podcast for today.
That's it. The awkward silence. Now just you guys. Yeah, we suck. Let's go.
All right. I do have two things I would just want to say to you. One, I get this question 10 times a day in my DMs. Everyone always asks me, they go, "Oh, this Shai guy, he's always wearing the same black V-neck. What's his problem? Does he have any other clothes?" So I just would like some clarification on that point.
What does Mark Zuckerberg wear all the time? A plain t-shirt. I just don't got time to choose my dresses. Not dresses, shirts. That's kind of weird. But I don't have time to choose my shirts. I have about 50 to 100 black t-shirts. There we go. So you're going to see me in the same shirt in different brands or the same logo or whatever it is. But I promise you, I have at least 50 to 100. Thank you.
Okay. Well said. Well explained. Second thing is, you're a little late when we press record here. You're late, like 10 minutes late to the recording time that we had set up. So I just would like to ask, why is that?
Today was a big day for me. It was a monumental day for me. I sold one of my babies today to fund another bigger baby. I don't know if people like big babies or skinny babies.
Shout out to Glenn Davis.
Oh, big baby Glenn Davis. Yes. Oh, wow. See, you know your shit. But that was his nickname. But yeah, I got a grail. It's paid off. Everything's done. I'm so excited to show the world. And to be, you guys like real shit. Like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get this, and I had to talk to this Mr. Putnam Max Cards here to get a little, not validation, vindication, whatever you want to call it. Like if I'm making the right move. He was like, you're crazy, do it ASAP. And yeah, and I did it because Putnam has been right too many times. So I was like, you know what? I had a gut feeling. Putnam has a gut feeling. It's a home run. So that's where we're at.
That's where I am. I'm very excited to see you post this card. You know, it's always an event when you get a big card and you post it. So I'm just gonna love to see people's reactions to this thing. It's a beauty. It's a scarce beauty.
Scarce beauty. There's only a handful of people in the world that have ever seen it. So that's what, when I saw it, I was excited and I was like, this is it. Let's just go for it. And I went for it. Somehow it got done. And here we are in this podcast.
Here we are. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I just want to say before we start here is that we, the Hobby Update crew, just the two of us, that's the crew, but we're going to be on the Luka Tiger Braun podcast. We're recording it tomorrow, so watch out for that. I'm very excited about it, and it should be highly, highly entertaining.
I love those guys. I mean, they gave me my first shot around November of 2020 when I went to the first Dallas card show. So I love those guys. It's going to be a very fun event tomorrow.
Yep. All right, jumping right in. Card of the day. You can start us off here.
All right, card of the day is it's a unique card. It's it's a PC card. It's why I chose this card for this episode is, the Nets are in this huge playoff run and they're probably the favorites, like hands down. So this is Kevin Durant, the best player in the Nets, 2007 Topps Chrome White Refractor out of 99. What's funny part about this is that on the next Luka Tiger Prawns, I explained to them why I chose this card over a higher grade orange refractor out of 199, and I went for the lower grading BGS 9. where it was the same value as the orange 9.5 out of 199. This is a BGS 9 out of 99. Why I chose the more rare, scarce stuff over the more readily available. So yeah, this is an interesting card that I have. So let's see where this goes.
And how much did you buy that card for?
I bought this card for $400 about 10 years ago. It's definitely about maybe 100x. And at one point it was 200x. But that's a whole nother story. A few Dallas shows ago, this was at 200x. So maybe I'm at 70 to 80x. But the bottom line is those are such stupid numbers that, you know what I mean? I'm beyond thankful and grateful to get even a double. But we're at 70, 50, whatever it is. So I'm thankful for that.
There you go. That, I mean, just I can't imagine buying that card for $400. That seems like, I mean, that was forever ago, but nonetheless, very nice job there.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. My card of the day, just to preface here, I'm showing this card once on the podcast and only one time, and I saved it for this special occasion. I don't want to come across as showy or anything like that, but I do kind of want to celebrate a success. So without further ado, we have the 2008 Topps Chrome Kobe Gold Refractor with LeBron True Gem Plus out of 50. This card sold at Golden Auctions a couple days ago. Well, just a True Gem, not a True Gem Plus, sold for close to $200,000, which is absurd. Well, it's not absurd. It's worth way more. That's undervalued. That's undervalued at $200,000. But
you can't say the price of your card is absurd. If that was $1 million,
no. Okay, I didn't mean the price of the card is absurd. I meant the fact that I own a card that's worth that much is absurd. Okay, that's all I said. You know what? Should we restart? I didn't mean to say that. No, I'm joking. But
all right, just keep it. It's not absurd, dude. That card could be $1 million because this is. Listen, let me. Because you said absurd, and this is fucking. I mean, this is a real podcast. Your card is not absurd. That price, listen, your card is only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. There's multiple comps. Put that card back on the screen, man.
Okay, it's going back up. It's gone.
Let me talk up your card. That card, there's multiple sales of that card with outrageous numbers. That means, and the other pops reports on that card is in very, very strong hands, diamond hands, if we may say, maybe even jewel hands. That's another story. But you did well in that trade. It's an amazing card, and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, moving on, because I mean that was a disaster. So what we really want to talk about today, the Dallas Card Show. One member of the Hobby Update crew was there. That would be Shai. I was not there. And I've heard conflicting reports. I'm going to keep using that phrase, conflicting reports about what really went down in Dallas in terms of the action at Dallas, in terms of the deals that were going on at Dallas. On one hand, I heard that there were deals happening at Dallas. I heard there was cards trading hands, cash trading hands. There was a lot of action, excitement. On the other hand, I heard that it was the Sahara Desert. There was no big deals happening. There was not a lot of cash changing hands. A lot of the dealers that went there were kind of disappointed. So you were there. What really went down at the Dallas Card Show?
A lot of stuff happened in Dallas Card Show. By the way, this is my third Dallas Card Show. I went in November, I think in February. And this is like the next one. A lot of stuff did happen. A lot of stuff did not happen. What did not happen was cash being thrown around. Except other than me. I mean, you probably saw my story, but I'm not trying to like pump myself up. But yeah, there was like basically everybody wanted to trade. It's okay. So okay, let's go back a little bit. All right, let me put on my glasses so I can start thinking. I know I'm thinking hat. I got my thinking glasses. All right. So while the Dallas Card Show was happening, over that weekend we had Golden Auctions ending. We had PWCC Premier Auctions ending in that weekend. And right Friday, Saturday night, while they were ending, a lot of cards were comping lower than what the estimated value was. So after everything closed, everybody was worried what the hell is going on. Like, I think I even like like made a Instagram story post or whatever on it. So everybody was worried. The card prices are down, market's like struggling, and then you have mixed with people trying to like buy, trade, sell cards. Instead, it was just trading because nobody had cash. Not nobody, but like most people did not want to sell anything. Most dealers were not buying, even if it was a good deal. They were like kind of hesitant. Guys, it's not the end of the world. I'm telling you, the market is not crashing just because nobody's buying your card. It's not crashing. That just means it's a correction, and it's totally fine. It's a good thing. Please, guys, I'm telling you, a healthy market needs these corrections. It's just a fact. If anything just keeps going up or keep going down, it's not normal. It's not safe. It's not good. That's the main thesis slash bottom line, I would say.
Okay, that's fair. And I mean, I totally agree with everything you just said. Personally, I think it might have been towards the end of August last year, 2020, when the card market basketball card market kind of peaked at that point in time, and cards started to go down in value. That was the first time that I saw a real big correction like that. And I was like freaking out, right? Because I had all these cards that were going down in value a bunch. I didn't know what was going on. I was on my dumbass was panic selling some things when I shouldn't have, and now I regret it.
Right.
And so now that this is another correction that we're seeing, I'm not worried at all, really. I've seen it.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that I'm not worried at all. Obviously, I'm worried about the, no, you know what? I'm not worried at all. Not in the slightest. We've
There
seen
we go.
corrections. And
Show that confidence.
you know what happens after the corrections? Things go to all-time highs, higher than they were before. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen to all cards because the market is getting smarter. We all see it. The base, the prism, silver, the people are getting really bored of that stuff. People who are entering the market right now might be gravitating towards that stuff because that's easy to understand. But
Right.
people who have gotten into it in the last couple months, 6 months to a year, are bored for the most part of those cards. So will those cards be at the all-time highs when the market swings back up again? I'm going to venture say no. And I
Right.
think that money is going to go towards more rare cards and that
Low
are
pop.
more lower pop and that are, quite frankly, are better design and just a little bit more high end.
Absolutely. Like I 100% agree. Look, guys, man, we've been look. The problem with this explosion started with the base cards. Everybody was shocked. PSA 10 base cards were so expensive. At one point, I don't know if you remember, about a year ago, we were thinking each player is tied down to his prison base card. If they blow up, they go crazy. Do you remember that?
I remember that. It's
At
funny to
one
think about
point,
now.
wow. It's only been I don't even know how long. It's been recent times in the
Under a
but
year. Under a year.
in the hobby world, it feels like eternity, but in real life, dude, that was like yesterday. So we thought that every player is gonna be tied down to his prism-based PSA 10. If they had shoot crazy threes, they were going in. Oh my god, they went up. No, come on, guys. Like, you know what I mean? That's not how things work. You know what I mean? This is called a market correction. We're gonna weed out the bad guys. Bad guys, I'm not gonna say bad guys, but like we're gonna weed out like what's not important, and what's gonna work is gonna be the rare low pop stuff. Stuff.
I'm
Low
gonna
pop
stop you
stuff.
there. I'm gonna stop you there because I don't even think it has to be that stuff. I just think it has to be about cards that matter, that are in demand and that matter.
For short term, cards that in demand matter, yes. But for long term, like
I disagree with you. I think some of the a few of the high pop stuff, of the goats I'm talking about, those are going to be very fine long
okay,
term. Short, but
iconic.
those are cards that you can't buy with a short term thesis because you're
Right.
just trying to time the market, and it's not going to work.
Iconic cards of okay, Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, right? Basically, that's it. Jordan, iconic cards, the Fleer 87, 86 rookie, right? For Kobe, is the 96 top score refractor. For LeBron, is the 03 top score refractor or base, however you want to play that. Those cards are always going to be talked about, always going to be in sync because it basically it shows the health of not the hobby, You could say that, but it shows the health of that player's market. You know what I mean? You could use that as a fundamental. So, I mean, but now with the modern guys, because the pop is so high, like a Luca base Prism PSA 10, it's kind of on the downtrend. You know, I think it's under 1,000 now, right? And I remember a few Dallas shows ago, people were feeding buying at 1,400. I really literally remember it was like, I'm gonna sell it for $2,000. It's gonna go to two because it was of trading on 17, 18. Look, those days may be like long gone, to be honest. You know what I mean? You have to smarten up and you have to get into like what's low pop, higher quality cards. So that's has always won in the hobby. This little prison base crazy rush is just happened in the last few years. It's when we look back, it's gonna be a small little blimp where, oh my god, this was the range. But towards the end of the day, rare, iconic stuff of low pop, high grade is always gonna do well, and that's been proven in the last 100+ years in the freaking hobby. What else? What other proof you want? Like that's just it is what it is.
Right. We should make note though that prison based stuff isn't the only things that are dipping right now. A lot of things are, and some of
Yes.
even the lower pop stuff is dipping. But what we're
Yes.
saying is that you shouldn't be worried about that because that will correct back up at some point. What we are saying is that some of the prism stuff, the more modern stuff, high pop stuff, we're not sure if that is going to
Yeah.
recover.
Yeah. Like, look, listen. If you're holding about 30 prison base PSA 10 Lucas, like we're not trying to be like, yo, dump it, sell it, and all that. There's always gonna be a market for that. Don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of people entering the hobby. They can't afford 2, 3, 5, 10, $15,000 cards. This is their only option. So that's still a respectable market. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't think that's a joke. Like, there's people that we need that market to exist, actually, quite frankly, I think, because that market is an introductory market. Let new people come into that market, play around that, however, plus minus a few $100 or whatever it is per each card. Let them learn, and then eventually they'll graduate into the strong stuff. But we do need that market as an entry point because the stuff that keeps working is so freaking expensive. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like
And
a new person coming in, they can't really afford that. So like let them play in that market. So we need that market to work. So that's another thing. I want like people not to like discourage or shit on that market. Like there is a market for that. So like don't underestimate it.
right. Everyone, I think it might have been Cardboard Chronicles who said this at one point, and he was totally right. Everyone kind of goes through a similar cycle when they enter the hobby. You start with base, then you go to kind of refractors or maybe parallels of those base. And then from there, that's when you kind of make the jump into the more rare stuff. I personally went through a similar cycle, and a lot of people that I know have gone through that cycle. That's just it's kind of the natural progression of how one enters the hobby and how they go through. But yeah, I agree with you said. It's definitely a market that we need to be. Uh, it's critical. The base market is
Look,
critical.
if you're a big player, don't shit on that market. Like honestly, like
Well, didn't we just
there's
kind of do that a little bit?
no, I did it. Like no matter,
Okay,
not we, you.
not we. Okay, I might have
We
done it.
fight. We fight. This is the last podcast. This Putnam's gonna kill me. But anyways, but yo, there's a market for everything, man. The small cards, big cards. You know what I mean? And obviously, the people that really listen to these podcasts, chances are they're deep in the hobby. They probably know a lot. You know what I mean? But it could be new viewers that are listening to this. But you know what I mean? Like it's okay to buy even a base Prism PSA 10 because that's all you can afford, and it's fine. So that market is still gonna always be there, but could it trend towards like downward because it's 15,000 pop of PSA 10 Lucas? Sure, but that's the market. They're gonna learn, they're gonna get educated, and that's why we're here for to kind of maybe show a light of how this hobby based cycle maybe works. Like,
Yeah. Okay, that was well said. Yeah, we'll leave that there for now. Another thing at the Dallas Card Show that was brought to my attention, there was a deal that went down, and apparently there was a fake 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card raw involved in that deal. You have an opinion on it, or you kind of know a little bit more about the situation.
All right.
So let's talk about this for a
So
few moments.
I don't go too. So basically, around like what Sunday night, I was hearing chatter around the hobby street. Basically that there was a dealer that sold a raw card. No. There was a deal. By the way, very important. Put them before we get sued. You have to use the word allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's
Allegedly. Okay.
extremely important. You can't just say this, that, this happened. You have to say allegedly, because I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Like, oh, you know what? Luca Tiger Prawns tomorrow. He's a lawyer. Cage lawyer. We'll tell him. Like, we'll tell the story again and be like, yo, you have to use the word allegedly, because that's just from what I've heard. You have to use allegedly. Anyway, allegedly, a dealer sold a raw Jordan Fleer raw card to a kid, allegedly 17 years old, because I don't know his age. We may have to use the word allegedly a lot today.
Okay.
So allegedly he's 17 years old, and then allegedly he found out that it was raw, and then allegedly he went back to the guy saying that, yo, this card is fake, dude. What's up? Allegedly the guy said that, bro, like maybe this card, like you swapped it. You know what I mean? I gave you the real deal. You swapped it, and then allegedly the guy was pissed. And then allegedly we're here talking about this right now. So
Well,
bottom
that's not
line is,
allegedly. We are, but okay.
we are. Yes, I try to overuse that word just for, like, our viewers' sake. But anyways, like, look, this is a very, very complicated situation. Like, why the hell are you buying a $8,000-9,000 raw card in the first place? All right, in a card show, there's a billion smart people. Why don't you get one of the graders out here
And
that marks cards, or Sappies, or any other, like, yo, you want to take a look at this? I'm about to buy it for $9,000. You know what I mean? Like, is this legit? Is it not? You know what I mean? That's one step. There's so many sides to the stories. People are going on both sides. People wanted to fight the dealer, like, yo, what kind of scumbag is this that does this for a kid? But playing devil's advocate in allegedly style, he could have sold, a real Jordan card, and he could have swapped it out. But if you're a dealer, if you have an $8,000 raw card, freaking put it in authentic slab. Pay the $300. If it is, whatever, get a slab, and you don't have to deal with this. So, like, I'm being straight up. This is raw. If I'm a dealer, I don't want to deal with this situation. I'm going to put it in a slab, an authentic slab, whatever it is. Like, forget about the grade, because then a card being fake and real is one thing, and a card being grading like a PSA 7 or a 10 is a whole different story. You know what I mean? So, like, you want to eliminate that trouble. Look how much heat he has. Just why are you selling raw cards? A big raw card like that, if there's a billion graders out there.
Right.
There's a lot of stories.
From the other perspective, you should kind of be a little wary of, he has all this heat, all this high-end stuff, all these expensive cards, and yet he has this raw Jordan rookie, which is the most counterfeit card possibly in the entire world.
Right.
So that might have been a red flag.
Right. I mean, we've seen the comments. A lot of people are going both ways, but at this point, we're all adults. We're grown men. But then everybody kept saying he's a kid. He's a kid. If you're buying $8,000 card, you're not a kid. You're a grown man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No,
okay.
No 18-year-old has a freaking $10,000 to drop on a piece of cardboard.
Yeah. I just want to make note of that. 17 or 18, however old this kid was, or however old this guy was. Allegedly, 17 or 18. I mean, he's like 3-4 years younger than me. He's going to college soon, if he's not there already. Come on, people.
Yeah, you're a grown man. You're playing with the big boys, and the guy that sold it to me is a big boy. Apparently, he's a big guy or whatever. But whatever, he's like, you're playing with the big leagues, $8,000-$10,000. So, like, do your research, do your homework. Just, guys, all I'm gonna say, look, whoever's listening, just, if you're gonna on a raw card, oh wow, you know what's funny? I'm about to say something, and you're gonna probably hate me for it. I'm gonna say it, and then you're gonna be like, wow, you're an idiot. Guys, spending 8, 9, 10K on a raw card, guys, be careful. But what the hell did you do with that card of the day?
The card of the day that I showed earlier. I'm not gonna say mention it by name, but I bought that card raw for I'll just say much more than $10,000.
Yeah. So, and it worked out for you somehow. But I would not recommend what Putnam did. Putnam's deal. No, we should make a whole nother podcast. What he did, the balls he had.
I don't want to keep talking about it.
Yeah, that's enough. It's too much pumping on your card. No, that's enough. But anyways, guys, don't buy raw paper cards that's unserial numbered. Yours was serial numbered, by the way, so you saved yourself because no freaking around. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a Jordan. Just don't buy raw cards, paper cards. You know, just buy a slab. That's it. End of story. Lesson
Right.
learned. Let's move
Lesson
on.
learned. Lesson learned for
Yeah,
all
I'm
sides
just
of that.
annoyed. Yeah, this is move on. Like,
Okay, moving on. Ken Golden put out a state of the hobby video.
Woo!
And I know a lot of people have reservations about Mr. Ken Golden. I know some people have had some difficult experiences, either consigning cards to Golden auctions or on the buyer end of a Golden sale. But let me just say this, and this is just my personal opinion. Ken Golden is, I know you have your phrase that you like to use, but Ken Golden is one of the biggest assets that the hobby has at the moment.
Wait, what's my phrase? I don't even know.
Cheerleader.
All right, go on.
Ken Golden is one of the biggest assets the hobby has at the moment in terms of publicity, in terms of expanding the market, in terms of reaching out to people who are not in the market but are interested in bringing them in. He is essential to the success that the hobby is having right now. I think that's a fact. I don't know how you can measure that, but just based on the type of people that he's dealing with, the numbers that he's bringing in, the record sales that he's having. I know that we're in a down market right now, but there's still many cards going for all-time highs across the board. And I know some people will say, well, it's because that card hasn't sold in a while, and so no matter what it went for, it was going to be an all-time high. But regardless, you know, Kobe Game Worn jersey going for $3.5 million, $4 million,
Right.
whatever it was. Ken Golden is an asset to the hobby, and he knows his shit. And he put out a video, and I watched the entirety of it. And basically, he put what's going on right now into perspective. And it's so needed. It was so needed for me to hear that. Basically, what he said is a lot of what we've already talked about in this podcast. But look, and a lot of what you said earlier, this correction is healthy for the market. It can't go straight up forever. And we need to just kind of keep in mind that a lot of cards across the board were 5 times less a year ago what they are today. We've all done very well. And you know, if I look at what my cards were worth 6 months ago versus 6 months prior to that versus 6 months prior to that, my collection, well, every 6 months it's always higher than it was 6 months before that. So you got to just keep it in perspective, and we just got to kind of stop freaking out over what's going on right now. It's healthy. I think that was just important for him to put out, and it was important for me to hear personally.
So yeah, I think I actually reposted that video. I think you did as well. I think it's important that the first 20 to 30 minutes. All right, so there's so many takeaways from this. All right, guys, we're all in this hobby together. All right, for this hobby to grow, all right, we need it to grow. We need more players in the hobby. All right, this is a hobby. Your card is only worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. You can't fight me saying your top Chrome gold refractor, whatever it is worth X amount. If no one's willing to pay that amount, it's not worth that amount. So the more people coming into the hobby, there'll be more people knowledgeable what the hell is rarity, scarce, pop report. It's just better for you and the health of the hobby. Bottom line is, Ken Golden is the cheerleader of the hobby. He's giving the exposure to the media and all that. By the way, I'm going to go like a side tangent. I saw a couple of reports. Oh my God, at the Dallas card show, everybody's showing cash and all that, blah, 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 all this fancy. It's a show off. They even said that. Like, it's a
called
show
a
off.
show. It's called the Dallas card show.
Maybe they think it's a Dallas card show off. I don't know why. G off, show off, it's all the same thing. All right, that's a whole other story. By the way, I have some great G off is the man. He's not the man. Oh God.
By the way, if anyone does, it was a quick side note. If anyone doesn't know who G off is, we're referring to sports card investor.
People think I'm no, he has the subscribers, he has the followers, and he's bringing it to the hobby. People, you don't understand. Look, there are smaller guys out there, right? They're always shitting on us. Like people that have like bigger cards, for example. Like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You want your little base cards to go up? You need guys like Sports Card Investor, Ken Golden, anybody in the hobby to continue talking about the hobby to get more people in. You don't understand. This hobby does not freaking survive if the participants keep dwindling out of it. We need people coming into the hobby, like more bodies, good or bad, whatever. We just need more humans and bodies interested in the hobby. There's more interest. More interest means more demand. You know what I mean? The supply is somewhat limited, like that things that are great and all that. We get that. But like more players in the hobby is just your prison base. You're complaining, oh my God, why is it dying? Hey, let this guy continue bringing people into the hobby. There's going to be billionaires and there's going to be smaller fifth graders that are 12, 13 years old that they love Luca and they just want a prison PSA 10. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I admire that and I love that because if I was a kid, if I was like in fifth grade, 9 years old, 10 years, I just love Luca. I'm not going to go for a Luca Blue Ice, I know PSA 10. I'm going to want the Luca Prism. That's going to be my holy grail. If I'm a fifth grade, 11 years old, my holy grail is the Luca Prism based PSA 10. So that market is alive, guys. You know what I mean? That's why I want to say, don't kill that market. Don't shit on it. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a demand. Yes, the age might go down, whatever it is, but we need more participants in the hobby. Ken Golden, with his whole reality show, I hope it happens, and don't worry, we'll be on that reality show. That's a whole nother story. That's you heard first. Anyways, damn, I got into that whole entertainment reality show world. Where the hell was I? Anyways, Ken Golden bringing more into the hobby. We need media. We need ESPN. This is nothing but good thing for the hobby. So everybody got to just chill out. We need more players in. More players. Everybody wins. Everybody eats.
Yes. There's only one person that I can think about that the hobby would be better without.
Oh my God. I don't even want to guess because I don't tell me. You're about to shake me right now. Who is it?
The Derek Carr Super Collector Vegas Dave.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to battle you. I disagree.
I knew you would disagree. That's why I said it. But why do you disagree?
Media. He's blue check mark, guys. You need fools like that in the freaking hobby. God, everybody thinks everybody's positive and good. We need bad players in the hobby. We need evil guys like Vegas Dave with blue check marks. Why? Because people see that. What's going on? Oh my God, he's creating drama. Oh my God, what's going on? Card market? What the hell is cards? Oh my God, 3 million this, 300. You know what I mean? It's just like it opens your eyes up.
Yeah, let me just specify one point here. The point that you're making is that it's okay if we have these kind of like villains, if you will, in the hobby, but we don't want like bad actors.
Nobody was bad actors, but
okay, I just thought that was an important distinction to make.
I'm not saying no. What's his name? Vegas. He's not a bad actor per se. He's more of the villain. Bad actors, I see more of like, scamming and like, shady stuff. He's just voicing his opinion, but he's very, very out there. For him to continue, because he has his own business, right? He has a whole sports betting and all that shit, right? I know it's correlated to cards, but the more he talks about cards to those guys, and remember, the sports betting is a huge industry. Shout out to Summertime Cards. Like, he probably could vouch for all that sports betting stuff. I have no clue. I know it's billions and billions of stupid money in it. It's been going on for a while. But you get a few of those guys into the card market, that's a huge win. Are you kidding me? Like, we need players in. More people is just better towards the end of the day. Like, it's just like a no-brainer. You need, for a market to grow, you need more participants.
There you go.
That's literally it.
And one point and this is the last thing I'll say about Golden, but the one point that Golden did make in that video is that the total size of money being spent in the market is still increasing.
It's large. It's big. So people say the market's crashing and buy the dip and all that.
And this is another thing Golden said. The macro versus the micro. On a micro scale, individual cards are going down.
Right.
On a macro scale, the market as a whole is still
growing. Yeah. So that's an excellent point. That's why like the random people, they're complaining and crying and you know what I mean? Like go to sleep, like, like just whatever. Because they're the micro part, but as a macro part, exactly what you said, and Ken Golden, what you just said, the macro is growing. So guys, this is a long-term thing. This is It's cards, man. Like I bought cards 10 years ago and I just sold one card today that I've held for 10 years and I got maybe a 50 to 75x and I cried. I didn't even want to sell it. You know what I mean? And anybody else, oh my God, you got a double, sell, triple, sell, 5x. You're crazy if you don't sell 50x. Like, tell me how much would you curse at me from 5x to 50x? Every x, sell. You're an asshole. Like what kind of like crazy things you would say to me every time it goes up another x? You realize that? So for 5x, people are like, you're crazy if you don't sell. So 6x, 7x, 8x. You know what I'm trying to say? When you go to 50x, what would you do? Would you shoot me in the head at that point? You just want to kill me right now. Just bury me. Be like, yo, I'm done with you. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, guys, like, it's a market where it's collectibles, man. Like things that go up usually are things that people want to collect. And guess what? The card that I held onto is something that I loved and enjoyed and I want to collect. Even though I got a 5075x, I'm a collector. Speaking to a collector, that's what goes up in life. You know what I mean? Shit that's more scarce and things that people want. And I've wanted that card. I said I had to get rid of it because, you know, shout out, you know, big post coming, by the way, for my Dallas pickup. I'm hyping it up so much. This is bad. It's gonna be disappointing. I feel like I hate doing this to myself.
All right.
Anyways, yeah, it's a whole nother subject. But anyways, go.
I mean, I think we can just jump to shout out of the day.
All right, you go first.
I'm gonna go first. Is the guy on Instagram who has been a big supporter of this podcast. He's always reposting our stuff. He has in the past when I have done other podcasts in the past. His name's Matt. His IG handle is basketball card collector 93. He PCs Kobe, LeBron, and Sean Livingston. And so, yeah, you know, just wanted to shout out someone who's been a pretty loyal supporter here. So if you don't already go, if you don't already follow Matt, go follow him at basketball card collector 93.
Yeah, that's a great choice. I know that is a solid dude in the hobby. Great choice. My one is going to be a little different. So my shout out day is definitely account name Too Legit to Quit. Guys, he's probably not going to hear this for now, but Too Legit to Quit. His birthday was yesterday. So big shout out to Dennis, Too Legit to Quit. One of my boys, good guy in the hobby, huge Kobe collector, met Kobe Bryant. Like, just go check out his page. He's like one of the best guys in the hobby. I freaking love that dude. I almost call him a friend. Putnam, I know I'm praising another dude, and don't get upset and sad. I still love you too. I love you guys equally. But it's his birthday, so he gets the extra love. But yo, guys, if anybody hearing this, secretly go DM him, be like HBD, happy birthday. Just flood his DMs and surprise him. And then hopefully he just sees like 20, 30 DMs. I'll be like HBD from random accounts, whoever's watching. You know, it'd be like a little surprise to him. And then I'll tell him later on, he'll hear this. It could be like a little fun birthday surprise. So if anyone's listening, Too Legit to Quit, Dennis, just DM him, just be like, happy birthday. And he's going to be like surprised. So I think it'll be fun.
Yep. Great choice. Shout out Dennis. Great guy. Awesome cards. And it was his birthday. So make sure you go DM him. HBD, happy birthday. All right. All right. That's all we got for today. Thank you, everyone, as always, for listening, for watching, for sharing, for liking, for commenting. We love the action. We love to hear from you. We love to get really deep in the community, as we are deep in the community. We like to go deeper into the community. So really appreciate all the support. I mean, we've made progress here. We know what we're putting out is getting. We're getting good feedback. People like the fact that this podcast is real. There's really not much of a filter. And that's kind of what we're going for here. So Shai, you got anything else to say on that?
Yo, thank you for the support. All I'm going to say is hasta la vista, amigo.
There we go. All right, everyone. See you next week. Make sure to watch out for that Luka Tiger Braun podcast, though. But yeah, for now, see you next week. Thanks all for watching.